Hello ladies, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another video in our series all about poise and how we can cultivate it. One of the things that I'm realizing when I go and I'm looking for someone to gain inspiration from, perhaps a role model, and I'm looking for someone that is cultivating their poise, often I find it's quite challenging to find somebody that is in the 21st century. I feel like a lot of the examples that are given to us in regards to people that we can look to that practice amazing poise, they're usually vintage, or they're usually people that were Hollywood stars many years ago. And so I thought in today's video we can look at some of the people that are alive now and thriving and that are amazing at cultivating and practicing their poise. Now, understandably, poise is quite scarce these days, so you might not find people that are practicing it as outwardly, but that doesn't mean that there aren't people that we can gain inspiration from. And without a question, this is going to be a no-brainer, but one of the people that you can look to who really is on point with how she practices her poise is Kate Middleton. Obviously, with the nature of her lifestyle, she is going to have to act with a certain elegance and a certain grace. But one of the things that I really wanted to pick up on Kate is when she is given a compliment on something, she is able to accept so graciously. And I feel like that's one of the things when you are looking at cultivating your poise. Like, say someone compliments me on this sweater, and it's very easy for people to be like, oh, this old thing? Or say someone compliments you and they say, oh wow, you're so beautiful. You'll be like, oh stop, you're beautiful. And you can understand why the person is deflecting, but it is such a poised quality to have if you can just accept the compliment graciously. The other thing that I really have noticed with Kate Middleton, and any of the royals really, is that when they are talking to somebody, they look like they are so enthralled and so engaged by what the person is saying. And I think I've picked up on it with royalty a little bit more than the everyday average person, because sometimes you'll see royalty and they'll have to go to some little village and, you know, look at the water system. You would think that they are passionate about these water systems, and maybe they are, but I think you can get what I mean. Whether it is a water system or whether it is I was gonna say something, but it might come out across as inappropriate. I was gonna say a sausage factory, I don't know why, but I think you know what I mean. They are looking at the person with such intent eye contact and following along on everything that the person is saying, and I think that is such a poised quality to have. I think it comes down to being able to see people and allow them to know that you've seen them and you've heard them. Now, the next person that I like to look to for poise may be a little bit controversial for some of you. Some of you love her, some of you maybe don't love her. But Anna Bay, the reason why I wanted to put Anna on this list of role models that I look to for poise is Anna often gets many comments that are not the most flattering, and it's interesting to see her get those comments because she addresses them, well, the ones she chooses to address, in a way that it doesn't seem like she's getting emotionally affected by it. And to me, this shows that she's able to control her temper and control her emotions. And I think that is such an amazing quality of poise. And the other thing that I love about Anna is she really does seem to keep an air of mystery in her personal life. And for somebody that kind of works as an influencer, maybe she's not working with brands per se, but you know, she has a huge platform. You can often see people, you know, spilling the tea, giving rants, and behaving quite badly. And I look at other people who have channels of her size, and I can't say the same for them, even though they are getting maybe equal amounts of online trolling. The next person that I love looking to for a role model that really cultivates poise is a lady named Julia Baroltzheimer. Hopefully I got that right. But she is a content creator. She is in the States and she just has such a charm to everything that she does. And one of the things, especially if you read that Madame Chic Polish Your Poise book from Jennifer L. Scott, you would have heard her talk about how it is really such a poised quality to have when you have a well-ordered home. And obviously Julia creates content for a living. That's how she makes her money. But I also think that it's very easy. And again, I've seen other content creators with similar popularity. You can go to their Instagram stories and see that they've got a new puppy and you can see all the pee on the floor, or you can see the makeup splattered all around. And I just don't think that that's a very poised quality, and I don't think that we should overlook people that do demonstrate that just because they're a content creator. Hopefully that makes sense. Now, I can't remember if I said I was going to give 4 people or 5 people. If I said 4, I definitely mean 4, and if I said 5, I've only got 4. But the last person that I want to touch on is somebody, it's not a female, and I know we have mostly females on this channel, but it is a male, and his name is Nicholas Fairford. Now, Nicholas Fairford has an amazing YouTube channel. We follow each other on Instagram. I fangirl on the inside if we ever DM. But what I love about Nicholas Fairford and why I wanted to talk about him in regards to poise is that poise isn't just for women. Poise is for men too. And although Nicholas does seem to be a little bit more softer spoken, I don't think that that is necessarily a quality of poise, but I love seeing how he talks about things, and it doesn't seem like it's from a place of emotion. It does seem like it's controlled and it's even-tempered. He is also somebody that seems to keep a beautiful home. That seems to be the whole premise of his channel and his social media. But whatever your lifestyle choices are, I think it's very easy for men to think that they don't want to practice poise or they can't practice poise because it's more of a feminine quality. Nicholas is also somebody that he keeps such an air of mystery about himself, and I think why I admire it is that he's a content creator and he's often doing Q&As, and maybe with the other content creators that I included as well, they still are able to keep an air of mystery about themselves but still do their job as a content creator. And maybe that's why that they're jumping out at me a little bit more, because I can see that there is a balance that can be struck between the two. So as I wrap up this video, my challenge for you is for you to pick up this book and then go see what role models that you can seek out online or in your real life and see who cultivates poise. Because I think you'll see that there's quite a list of things that Jennifer lists off in this book about what actually cultivates poise. And you'll notice how certain people maybe pull to certain things and maybe others pull to other areas of what cultivates poise. And you'll see what areas really seem to matter the most to you. Did you notice how a lot of the people that I picked up on were content creators? And some of the things that I noticed to be quite filled with poise were because they reflect to my personal lifestyle. I think if you pick up this book and you start looking at some of the attributes to poise, you'll start noticing what means the most to you and how you can start cultivating that in your own life. When you start observing these role models, you're then able to pick up on certain micro behaviors, and then you're able to cultivate your poise a little bit more because you're picking up on these little subtleties of what other people are demonstrating and displaying, and then you can start implementing that into the way that you live your life too. At the end of the day, we all have viewers, so even though I took inspiration from people that are mainly online, there are definitely people in my everyday, day-to-day life that I gain inspiration from too. At the end of the day, when you really start studying these role models, you'll be able to feel a little bit more comfortable in your skin when you're on this journey to cultivating your poise. I've said this before on this channel, I'm no expert, I'm just sharing the things that I've learned with whoever chooses to watch it. But at the end of the day, I'm learning that I feel more comfortable when this is something that I don't just practice when I'm sat here in front of the camera, but it's something that I start practicing behind closed doors as well. I think we need to understand that if you don't set the precedent to do these things and cultivate these areas when no one is watching, that is when you're going to feel like a fraud. That is when you're going to feel like a phony. That is when you're going to feel like someone's going to call you out for being something other than what you are. Being poised doesn't mean that you're stuck up or you're pretending to be someone that you're not. Poise is something that you're going to cultivate if these are areas that they mean something to you. Does poise mean anything to you? I would assume so if you're sat here watching this video, but let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've made it to the end of this video. I've got another video all about poise coming to you very soon, but do let me know if there is something specific that you want me to cover. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.